Welcome to the official D-Money Games set review for Scholomance Academy. I'm going to be going through each individual card, and there's going to be a different video for each class and also for the neutral cards as well. And we're going to be ranking them based on what you see at the top left of the screen. 5 is broken / always played. 4 is very strong or typically played. 3 is above average / played sometimes. 2 is below average, played a little bit, and 1 is bad or unplayable. Okay, going on to the neutral cards, starting with Desk Imp. We're gonna go in order here. It's really just a Wisp, but it has a demon tag. Wisp is literally never played. It's like is played very little. This card's gonna be played in Zoo, but besides that, it's gonna be a 1 out of 5. Animated Broomstick, 1 mana, 1/1. Rush, Battlecry, give your other minions rush. This card, nobody really talks about this card, but this card is actually like a game changer. There's so many things you could do with this card. If you play Morzon and then you play this card, you have such a big board. You rush all your guys forward. This can do so much in any kind of style deck. I think this actually changes the entire game, and this is a 4 out of 5. Intrepid Initiate, 1 mana, 1/2, Spell Burst, gain +2 attack. This card seems like a very good aggro card. Give it a 3 out of 5. If you don't get the Spell Burst off, it's just a 1 mana 1/2, which really isn't that great. Pen Flinger, 1 mana 1/1, deal 1 damage. Battlecry, Spell Burst, return this to your hand. You could do some combos with this card. You can play it in Rogue. You could play with Pen Flinger. You could play a coin and then play this, then play a coin, and with like Umbral Stalker. I think it's okay. It's a better Elven Archer. I think it's just a meme. I think it's just a meme combo card. I don't think it's that great. I'm gonna give it a 2. Sphere of Sapience, a 1 mana 0/4 weapon. This is the first ever neutral weapon in Hearthstone. At the start of your turn, look at the top card. Look at your top card. You can put it on the bottom and lose 1 durability. Yeah, this card is similar to... This is like actually the effect of Scry in Magic the Gathering. And that effect is very powerful in that game. Seems like it would be very powerful in Hearthstone as well. Just the ability to put something on the bottom of your deck and get a new card. Like just the ability to get a new card in general instead of that original draw is super duper good. Especially in a control kind of deck. Because you're going to be looking for specific cards at specific points. And if you're playing a deck like Reno Mage and you're about to draw Amazing Reno on turn 2, you're going to want to put that at the bottom because you really don't need that right now. You don't need the high cost cards in your hand. Also, the fact that you put something on the bottom of the deck could be a drawback because you're really not going to see that card until the very end of the game. Unless, of course, you put more cards on the bottom, thus moving it up, or you play a card that will shuffle your deck and change the order of the deck. Only reason why it's bad is with weapon removal, which is probably going to be a thing. But the card itself is a 5 out of 5 card. Tour Guide. 1 mana, 1/1. Battlecry, your next hero power costs 0. Interesting. I think it's more fit into aggressive decks. You don't really want to play this in a control deck unless you're doing some kind of combo with your hero power. So this card's actually good in Totem Shaman and in Warlock as well. I think that the card overall is pretty good in those decks, but every other deck is just awful. Overall, I'm going to give this card a 2. Cult Neophyte, 2 mana 3/2. Battlecry, your opponent's spells cost 1 more next turn. This card's like a mini Lotheb, and this card's actually more nutty than you might think because it does actually disrupt Zephrys. Because when Zephrys is offering you spells, he's not going to keep in mind that your spells cost 1 more that turn. So it's actually going to screw you over in that sense. And also, I mean, if your opponent's looking to play a board clear the next turn, you're going to disrupt them a little bit there and maybe delay them an extra turn, thus winning you the game. I think this card's really strong. I'm going to give this card a 4 out of 5. Really good. Mana Feeder Panthara. 2 mana 2/3. Battlecry, if you used your hero power this turn, draw a card. And it's a beast. This card's good overall. I just think there's better cards to run. I don't think you necessarily need this card. If you're playing Demon Hunter and your hero power costs 1, sure, it's pretty good, but I really think there's just better cards out there. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Sneaky Delinquent. 2 mana, 3/1, stealth, death rattle, add a 3/1 ghost with stealth to your hand. A lot of people are hyping this card up for stealth rogue, and I can see it a little bit. I think it's a good card, but only in that deck. I mean, it's a little slow. If your opponent does have AoE, then it's a lot worse. I think it's a 3 out of 5. Now we have Transfer Student, which is already in the game. It's 2 mana, 2/2, and it has different effects based on the board which you're playing on. And for the new board that's coming out, the Scholomance Academy board, it will give you a random dual class card on Battlecry. I think this card's a solid card overall. Seems kind of like more of a Highlander card or a tempo-based card, typically. But it really depends on if you're playing Standard or Wild. Honestly, I don't really know the Wild effects too much, but overall, this card has seen play, and it is pretty good overall. And yeah, I think it's a pretty consistently good card. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Voracious Reader, 2 mana, 1/3. At the end of your turn, draw until you have 3 cards. So this is the new Jeeves of the set. So this is like a lesser Jeeves, and if you don't know Jeeves, he was a 4 mana 1/4 that at the end of each player's turn that they draw until they have 3 cards. So this is a lot better. It costs 2 less. It has only 1 less health, and it's only at the end of your turn, and it's only affecting you, so it can't even benefit your opponent. This card's really good in any aggressive deck that's going to be just dumping their cards out. I think this card's a 5 out of 5. One of the best cards in the set. Wand Maker, 2 mana, 2/2. Battle Cry, add a 1-cost spell from your class to your hand. I think this card's okay. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Educated Elic, 3 mana, 3/4, Beast. Whenever a spell is played, this minion remembers it. Death Rattle, shuffle the spells into your deck. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea how to rate this card. Do you want these spells in your deck? I don't know. That might just... It's probably going to hurt you in the long run. It'll help you in the fatigue game, but besides that, I don't really see this being played. I think it's a meme. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Moving on to another meme card, Enchanted Cauldron. 3 mana, 1/6. Spellburst, cast a random spell of the same cost. This card's not good. This is a 1 out of 5. Robes of Protection, 3 mana, 2/4. Your minions can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. This is one of the best cards in the set. I'm calling it right now. A lot of people are probably in agreement with me. Yeah, we've never had a card like this before. It gives itself that effect as well. This card's a 5 out of 5. Easy 5 out of 5. Crimson Hothead, 4 mana, 3/6 dragon. Spellburst, gain +1 attack and taunt. I mean, if you Spellburst, then you get a 4/6 taunt. Not the greatest. I don't really think this card's that good at all. Compared to the power level of everything else, it's not even close. I'm gonna give this card a 1 out of 5. Oh, moving on to the meta-breaking card of the expansion. Just kidding, this card sucks. Divine. Whenever you see the name Rager in a card, you can assume that the card is going to be really bad. 4 mana, 5/1, Divine Shield, Elemental. This card is an easy one. I'll match its health with its rating. Really just a meme. It's not good. It's only good if you evolve into it sometimes. And that's about it. Fishy Flyer. This card is adorable. 4 mana, 4/3. Rush, Death Rattle, add a 4/3 ghost with Rush to your hand. So this card's a Murloc, and the Rush, the ghost that you get from it is a Murloc as well. Very cute, but just too slow for my taste. I don't think it's gonna be run. It's just way too slow. A 1 out of 5 for me. Lore Keeper Polkelt. 4 mana, 4/5. Battlecry, reorder your deck from highest cost card to the lowest cost card. This is every combo deck lover's dream right here, this card. So I don't like combo decks personally, so I hate this card. But for everybody that loves combo decks, this is your new favorite thing. And this card's a 4 out of 5. Wretched Tutor. It's a 4 mana 2/5. Spell burst, deal 2 damage to all other minions. It's okay. I give it a 2 out of 5. Not that great. Headmaster Kel'Thuzad. 5 mana 4/6 spell burst. If the spell destroys any minions, summon them. Now this card is an easy 5 for me. One of my favorite cards in the expansion. And I think Priest is going to be super nutty with this card. I think anything could really be insane with this card, but Priest especially with all their removal options, like Shadow Word Ruin, and just like Shadow Word Death as well. Lake Thresher, 5 mana 4/6. Also damages the minions next to whomever this attacks. This card's really good. It's a beast as well, so it's really good with Hunter, and it's really good with Druid especially. We haven't had a cleave card in the game since Cave Hydra, I believe. I mean, we have Sweeping Strikes for Warrior, but cleave is a very powerful effect, and its stats are like even decent, and you could buff it up. I think this card's actually very strong. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Ogre Mancer, 5 mana 3/7. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, summon a 2/2 skeleton with taunt. I think it's an arena card. I think it's not awful, but I just don't think it's good. I'm gonna give it a 1. Steward of Scrolls, 5 mana 4/4 elemental, spell damage +1, Battlecry, discover a spell. This card's actually really good. It's just, you could kind of compare it to a Zordrake. It's actually exactly like a Zordrake, but instead of drawing one, you discover a spell, which can be better. And it's an elemental instead of a dragon. I think it's a good card. It's just, I don't think it's as good as all the other cards we've seen. So I think overall, the card is a 3. Vectis, Battlecry, summon 2 1/1 whelps. Each gains a death rattle from your minions that died this game. And it's been proven that if you've only had one death rattle minion die, then it only gains, only one of the whelps will gain that effect. The other one will have no effect. Which makes this card more fair, but this is easily one of the best cards in the expansion. 5 out of 5. Onyx Mage Scribe, 6 mana 4/9 dragon. Spell burst, add 2 random spells from your class to your hand. It's a big dragon with added value. It strikes me as a priest card right away. It's really tanky, and you put Apotheosis on it, so you can make, I could see a dragon priest kind of coming to fruition. I think this card's really strong when you evolve into it as well. I think it's an overall solid card. I give it a 3 out of 5. Smug Senior, 6 mana 5/7, taunt, death rattle, add a 5/7 ghost with taunt to your hand. This card's an arena card. Doesn't really do too much in standard. It's a 1 out of 5. Sorcerer's Substitute. Sorceress Substitute. 6 mana 6/6. Battlecry, if you have spell damage, summon a copy of this. This card is super nutty, man. 6 mana for 12/12, and like, if you're playing Mage or Shaman, you're typically gonna have spell damage. This card is a 5 out of 5. Keymaster Alabaster. 7 mana 6/8. Whenever your opponent draws a card, add a copy to your hand that costs 1. A lot of people are saying that this card is bad. I am not one of those people. I think this card's very, very good. If you get it to stick, you're automatically going to get, just by playing it on the board, you're automatically going to get at least 1 card from your opponent. It also stops them from drawing cards. It'll kind of force them to clear this guy. You're going to play this in like any control deck. It's just so much value, so good. Everyone's going to be running really good cards. This card's a 5 out of 5. One of the best cards in the fucking set. I love this card a lot. I don't care what anybody says. This card's going to be really good. And the last card that we see here is Plagued Proto-Drake. 8 mana 8/8 dragon. Death rattle, summon a random 7-cost minion. This card's really strong, actually. 7-cost minions are like pretty good. They're not too crazy. Yeah, I think this card's actually solid, and especially if you're running priest. If you're in priest, I could see a priest dragon deck working with the new studies as well, reducing this guy to 7. I think this card's actually really strong. I give it a 4 out of 5. I think overall we've seen a lot of unique effects and mechanics come from this set, for neutral cards especially, And very excited to see how it all plays out. Hoping that combo decks just don't overtake the freaking ladder, but we will see. Of course, all these ratings are my own opinions, and I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Please let me know. I'd love to hear what your opinions are on certain cards, what you think I may be underrated or overrated. And yeah, I'm going to be trying out all these decks on stream on August 6th. That's when it drops. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream. If you want my stream link, it is below in the description. I'll be doing a 24-hour stream with giveaways, with viewer games. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I hope you come by. And that is all. Peace out, guys.